Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in, that maybe you're interested in, are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to anything that I bring up during this watch list. On March 3rd on HBO, we have this new comedy drama limited series called The Regime. Essentially, from the little bit I saw, because I only watched the teaser trailer, I didn't watch the full trailer. Kate Winslet is playing kind of this chancellor, and it seems like maybe there's kind of a, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a little reminiscent of the pandemic or not, or is it just supposed to be like some chaotic future thing where stuff is going on and is about her trying to reign control. So it looks like this kind of interesting, kind of political, like I said, comedy drama. I don't think it's on the same, like, I've never seen Veep, but I've seen enough to kind of, like, I don't think it's Veep-ish, but it feels like it could be in some lanes, but I mean, it's obviously more so UK based than it is like Veep, which was American based. So I don't know, like I said, I only watched the teaser for it, but it seemed interesting. I just didn't want to know too much, so that's why I didn't watch the official trailer. So not quite fully sure what it's about, but it's about this chancellor's reign and her trying to keep control. She's got a right-hand man who is kind of like, I think he's like a military dude that's kind of a little crazy and just juggling everything, trying to maintain power while also dealing with her own chaotic life, I think, as the two intermingle. And I don't know, just like I said, just from the teaser trailer alone, it seemed interesting, so I added it to the list. On March 5th on Fox, we had the return of the cleaning lady coming back for season 3, which I have very conflicted emotions about, because I'm very excited for the cleaning lady, but sadly I learned just today, at the time of recording this, that the actor who plays Armand had passed away last month. I believe it was from appendix cancer, I think, which I had no idea. It seems like no one really knew. He kept it very private, but it's like, so it's going to make watching this season pretty hard, because obviously Armand's like one of the lead characters in the show, so it's just going to be kind of, it's going to be like a melancholiness to watching this season now, knowing that he's gone. So it's just, that's kind of heartbreaking. I don't know what to fully expect for the season. I'm gonna have to go back and recap. It's been a hot minute since season 2, so I don't fully remember where all the chips laid in the aftermath. I remember some of the story plot points, but not all of them. And there might be a trailer out, maybe even a teaser out at the time we recorded this, but I haven't looked up anything, and I'm probably not going to. I'm just going to probably go into this season as knowing as little as possible. So on March 6th, we have season 2 of Extraordinary. It's a this kind of superhero comedy on Hulu. I'd seen the trailer for season 1, but I'd never checked it out. But with season 2 around the corner, I'm really interested in checking it out. Basically, it's like in a world where like superpowers exist. Your main character, she doesn't have any powers, and she's trying to get her powers to manifest. But it's like, what do you do, and what is your life like when you're in a world of superpowers and you're like one of the few people that doesn't have powers, and trying to figure life out and find your way through everything. On March 7th on Netflix, we have a new Guy Ritchie series, The Gentleman. Essentially, it seems like Theo James' character is from a family. I think his dad died, but it seems like his dad had a connection to like a criminal organization, and now the family's kind of drawn into the chaos that is that, as Theo James' character is trying to pull his family out of that and kind of break away from this criminal world. So seems really, really interesting. It seems like it's him and his brother, but I don't know how much of a role his brother's going to play, like whether his brother's one of the main characters or whether he's just kind of a side character in all of this. But because it seems like Theo James' character seems to be like the main lead, but we'll ultimately have to wait and see. But just from the trailer alone, crime drama, looks a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see where the show ends up going and seeing what it's all about. On March 14th on Prime Video, we have part 2 of season 2 of Invincible, which I'm very, very excited about. I have not seen the trailer. I know there is one that came out a little while back, but I avoided watching it because I want to go into the second half of the season knowing as little as possible. But considering where the first half of the season left us, it's going to be interesting to see where Mark, how he handles the situation he was left in, and what that kind of means for the rest of the season, because there are certain plot points. The overarching Angstrom Levy storyline has not been touched on too much, only like the first 2 episodes really tackle that at all. So I'm assuming we're going to get a lot more of that in the back half of the season. Once again, just an assumption on my part, but a lot of moving threads in your typical Invincible fashion. There's a lot of spinning plates happening currently, and I'm curious to see where everything goes for all these different storylines that are currently in play. On March 15th on Netflix, we had this new mini-series called Iron Rain. It's kind of this crime drama. I know very little about it. At the time we were recording this, the only trailer that's out, it's like the date announcement video. So, but essentially it seems like this kind of crime family ends up running like drugs and stuff out of a port, but they get one particular shipment. What that shipment entails exactly, I don't know, but apparently it causes issues. Like I said, there's very little I was able to Google about this show. I mean, once again, I try not to Google too much, but a lot of the synopses I've read have just been that, like I said, that little bit I just mentioned before. So I have no idea what to fully expect from the show, but another crime drama. I'm always excited to see, you know, what that fully entails. On March 20th on Disney Plus, we have X-Men 97. Obviously, this being a continuation of the X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. I have not seen the X-Men series in totality. I've seen bits and pieces back when I was a kid, but I already knew, I've long since known this show was coming, but I still have never taken time to watch all 5 of the previous seasons of the show. I should have. Maybe I'll try and get working on that. I have like less than a month to do it, but you know, we'll see. But you know, even if I don't end up watching it, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are very, very excited. I definitely know there's a lot of people very excited to see what this revival kind of really is all about, in this continuation and where the story goes, where things got left off. I mean, just from the trailer alone, it looks dope and really interesting. Once again, I just don't have the context of the totality of everything that happened in the show. On March 31st on Netflix, we have a new series, The 3-Body Problem. It's a series, I know it's based on a series of novels. This isn't even the first adaptation. I believe there was a Chinese, because it's based on a Chinese novel, but I know there was a Chinese adaptation, like I want to say a series. Maybe it was even, it might even been movies, I don't remember. So this isn't the first adaptation, but essentially it involves like past, present, and future, like interactions with an alien species or something. It's a base premise I understand of it, because I try not to read too much into it, but it just, I'm basing this mainly on the little bit I read and the teaser, because I saw the full trailer, but it's been a minute, so I only rewatched the teaser to give myself a better idea. I really don't know what to fully expect from this series. I'm really curious to see the direction it all goes, to fully understand what's going on and how the story is told between these different time frames and their relationship to this alien species. It seems like an interesting premise, and I'm excited to see, like I said, fully understand the scope and scale of this whole situation. On March 22nd on Hulu, we have this new comedy series, Davey and Jonesie. Davey and Jonesie's Locker. Essentially, the base premise is that these two characters find this special locker that once they go through it, they're able to teleport through the multiverse. It's a weird premise. I don't know what that fully entails. There is no trailer out at the time of me recording this, so I don't even have a full scope of even imagining what that looks like and what that fully entails. But multiverse travel, I know a lot of people are tired of multiverse, but it's like some multiverse comedy shenanigans I'll always be down for. On March 27th on Netflix, we have a new series, I believe it's a Thai series, called The Believers. Essentially, these 3 people work together to use a church to kind of like scam people out of money, because one person like owes a whole bunch of loans, and it's just them kind of getting ahead of themselves as they're making and raking in all this money, and the complications and the rabbit hole and the hole they dig themselves in as they kind of get mixed up in this criminal world as they're scamming all these people out of their money. So once again, plenty of crime dramas on this particular month's watch list. But just from the trailer, which actually came out, the official trailer came out the day at the time we were recording this, so it seemed really interesting. I previously read the premise, but just seeing it and seeing how it all plays out. You know, once again, I'm probably only getting obviously a fraction of the story with a trailer and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see what the full scope of it is and like how things kind of start off good and how they do eventually spiral out, because eventually they get found out and the ramifications for that and how it all trickles out. It's going to be interesting to see. On March 28th, we have season 2 of American Rust premiering on Freevee, which this completely caught me by surprise. I hadn't even caught the news that Showtime had canceled this originally. Obviously, it's been a hot minute, so I definitely have to go back because I remember bits and pieces of season 1, but not a lot. But yeah, there was still like more story to tell, and it just wasn't clear whether or not they were going to. But yeah, the show's coming back. I'd assume we're doing like maybe like 1 or 2 release and then weekly after that. I don't know. Like I said, this completely caught me by surprise, but I'm very, very excited to see how this all plays out. Like I said, I'm gonna have to recap myself on where season 1 ended, and you know, I'm now gonna watch the trailer if there is even one out for season 2. And finally, on March 31st on AMC, we have a new series, Parish. Essentially, Giancarlo Esposito is playing this guy who's kind of a driver, and he kind of worked for some, were they human traffickers? Basically, he's had a very complicated past, and he tries to leave that behind to have a normal life. But the premise I was reading said that basically when his son gets murdered, he has to kind of go back to the underworld, and things kind of hit the fan there. As he says in the trailer, it's kind of like he's kind of lived his life being in a passenger seat, and now it's him, despite being the driver, he's finally taking the wheel in his own life. He's finally steering the wheel in his own life to some extent, and things kind of pop off from there. Giancarlo Esposito, crime drama, I'm here for it. It's actually based off like a mini 3-part British series called The Driver, I think is what the original series called. It was from like 2014, and this is kind of like a American adaptation to some extent. So it seemed really interesting from the trailer, and once again, crime drama, Giancarlo Esposito, I'm here for it. So I'm excited to see. It's gonna be interesting too, because like he's not necessarily gonna be playing a bad guy, but he's gonna be playing a guy who's done some bad things. He's going to continue doing some bad things for the right reason. You know, it's going to be interesting to see him not like just be like a straight up villain. That there's going to be more complex. There's going to be some complications with this character, I'm sure. But either way, I'm excited to check it out when it drops. And so that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of, that you're aware of, that you think that maybe me or someone else would be interested in, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.